right, I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Hello. Oh, no. How's the sound, Steph? Does it sound okay? Yeah? What do you say? Oh, good. Okay. Well, you might be able to tell I colored my hair. It's a little darker than I thought it would be when I did it. I haven't colored my hair. Hello, everybody. I haven't colored my hair at home. A home hair care color thing. I figured it out. It's like 20 years, Stephanie. I mean, because I'm 43 years old, right? And, so I mean, 10 years ago, no, I was going to the salon. 15 years ago, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think it's been that long, but trying to watch that money, trying to save those pennies, not a lot of margin. So I did it at home. What do you think? Do you like it? Is it okay? Looks good? Okay. So, you like it, Steph? It's okay? It's a little, it needed a little.
Yeah. When you have a nice color of brown hair, you could do so much with it. I have a weird color of brown hair that looks weird when I try to dye it.
Well, dye is. I don't have any gray yet. I'm not saying that you do, but I'm just saying that, different colors, like when you have different colors, it's absolutely true. And I've got pretty standard wimpy brown hair, right? So it usually takes color pretty well. But yeah, I mean, you have luscious locks, and full, beautiful, it's wonderful hair. And so, yeah, I can imagine like dye is going to be a little bit different because you got there's a lot. But I have like pretty basic wimpy white girl hair.
It's not wimpy.
I
think it looks good, Gary.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So, pardon me. There's lots to do tonight. There's so much to do, and it's going to be a great show. In fact, I'm just really glad to be home. And here's the thing: the reason that we were late tonight, me, is because I updated my laptop. Which you should always do, right? The updates for your computers are good. They help keep your computer safe and all that stuff. But I can't get on the internet now. I mean, there's something going on with my laptop. It actually wouldn't work at home, and it won't work here. And that's very bad if you're going to do a live stream. And it wouldn't. So doesn't matter. But I'm on my desktop now here at the office, and my second monitor is here. So usually it's here. So you just have me looking at you and looking down, and I don't have to turn. But now I have to turn. So it's like I'm looking at Scone, right? It's like I'm looking at you, little buddy. Okay, so it's gonna be kind of strange. Also, I couldn't figure out. I couldn't install the light thing properly for some reason. So it's just very bright tonight. The point is, it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a little bit different. Hopefully, you're going to enjoy it. We're going to talk about Florida. We're going to talk about Floridian quilts because I hope this shows up okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I know of the books, right? I know of the quilt books and the state documentation projects. I pretty much know. Hey, Steph, I didn't tell you about this, but we're going to, and I don't think there's a link yet. There's not an AbeBooks affiliate link yet. Yeah, I was busy literally running around which is normal, but it was different tonight. It was a different kind of so we're an AbeBooks affiliate on this show. So all the books we talk about, almost all of them are used and out of print, but you can still get them, and most of them are very cheap. Just think if I was recommending New York Times bestsellers all the time, you'd be like, Mary, I can't afford another $35 book about management styles. This show is breaking the bank. But that's not the kind of book we talk about here. Who Moved My Cheese? No. Although that might be out of print now. Maybe not, but I'm sure you can find it used. The point is, we have affiliate links here. So if you're going to buy any book that we talk about on the show, I hope you'll use the link that Stephanie Cake will be putting in the chat momentarily. I can pretty much guarantee it's going to be quiltnerd.link/Florida, right? Something like that. Maybe we might have one, but don't click on it yet. We'll hear from Stephanie Cake, the on-air producer of this show, by the way. Thank you, Stephanie, for all that you do. So I know about these state documentation quilt projects, but I had never seen this book. Yeah, weird. and I don't know how I happened upon it, but like I need to do a deep dive back into the state documentation projects and just make sure I know of all the books that were made, because guess what? This one's really good. Like, it's really good. So I selected, I have a selection. I gathered a selection of, God, they're great. Woo! Don't buy it yet. Wait for the affiliate link. Anyway, they're really wonderful. So we're going to go through a few of these quilts because I just want to share them with you. It's one of those nights where, you know, I was like, I just want to talk about great quilts, you know? And then we're also going to look, we're going to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't know if it'll take not much time or a lot of time. If we're going to talk about it, you know, as a group, it might be a lively discussion. I don't know. You all you're a lively bunch. And it's something that I came up with. It's an idea I had a long time ago. It's visual. There's visuals here all queued up. It's something that I thought maybe could be manufactured or produced, and it never happened. And it's for quilt people, as you'll see. And I think it's a good idea. And I was going through some papers and things at home, and I found my lookbook. I found the lookbook for this project called the Paint Box. The Paint Box Project. And I scanned the lookbook in, and I'm going to share it with you. And then there's a video. I don't know if we're going to watch it or not, but we might. We'll see. And then there's a backup video. Anyway, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Thank you for being patient. Stephanie told me a bunch of people were like, it's good. I'm glad we have extra time because I needed to do this or that. So that's fantastic. So we're going to do all those things. But first, we are going to, I'm going to tell you something that's very important. And I was going to take the chat, I'm going to take the chat off the screen just for a moment because I want you to focus on my face. I can't make you listen to what I have to say, and I don't know. I can't see you. And I can't read the room really. I can only read the chat, and I'm not reading the chat I can't read it unless I go like this. This would be very obvious. We'll wait for Chicago to do Chicago. Hang on. Okay. So they said at TwitchCon, experiment with your channel, right? And we've been doing that, and that's been a lot of fun. I'll be co-working on Thursday. Early in the day, I'll turn on the camera and do a co-working stream. That's great. And I've got some notes about the schedule later. Also, we have a giveaway to do tonight. There's a giveaway. So after the message from the management, okay, we'll do the giveaway at the break. At the break, yeah? Cake? At the break? Yeah, okay. So here's the deal. If you are a person who feels, who harbors anti-Semitic feelings, you're not welcome at this show. You're not. I can't tell if you feel such things because I can't see you. But even if I could see you, bigotry and hateful feelings toward another group, a whole group of people, people can pass, right? You can sort of pass. It doesn't show on your face at all times. It's not like something you can see in a person when you're just talking with them, from day to day. But things come out sometimes, don't they? Particularly with anti-Semitism, it's like it shows up in the funniest places, just when you think that's couldn't possibly be a thing. It is with someone, and it's To me, it's a shocking thing. It's terrible and it's terrifying. I can't see you, but if you feel those feelings, if you feel hatred toward Jewish people, you can see me right now, and you know that that's you. You know, because it's you, right, who feels that way. And so I can't see you. I'm not, I'm talking to you, but I can't see you. But I am talking to you, right? Because you know if you feel that way, and I'm looking at you, and I'm telling you that it's not okay here. And one of the most important people in my life, who I love more than words can say, is Jewish. And this person helped make me who I am. And so if you like this show, and you like to hang out here, and you like me, or you like what I have to say, then you need to take care of that shit. Okay? If you want to be here and enjoy this, because that kind of ideology, that kind of hatred is corrosive, and it is counter to everything I believe in. So if you like this show and this is your jam, we are at a conflict. We have conflict. And that I can't resolve it, right? But it's there's a Discord. This is why Discord's such a terrible name, right, for that platform. It's why we call our Discord the Disco, okay? I don't get too deep, into personal ideology on the show. And although I say that, and maybe that's not true, maybe I'm always doing that, okay? Through the content of the show, I try to be, through the content of the show, I try to tell the whole story, And it's difficult sometimes because a lot of the story was written by people who won history. History was written by the winners, right? You know what I mean when I say that. It's an adage. It's something people say. To find the truth, to find the whole story, you have to dig a bit deeper. And a lot of people talk about a lot of things. Here's what I believe. This is, cancel this person. This is bad. I'm offended by this. Blah, blah, blah. We need to do better. Da, da, da. Well, I could talk about that all day. I could have a live stream where that's all I talked about. But I don't want to do that. I would like to show you through the content of this show that the whole story involves everyone, and everyone is beautiful in their own way. And everybody is having a human experience, and it's hard, and it sucks, and it's beautiful, and it's just all we've got. And so to hate a group of people just out of hand, to have conspiracies toward a group of people, to just reject humanity in that over there is ignorant, and it is small, and it isn't welcome here. So if I'm talking to you, and you know who you are, and I do not mean to offend anybody watching this show. I have no doubt that the people watching this show, I don't even need to say this, right? But it's the internet. And so if you can hear my voice in this broadcast right now live, or you're watching it later on a replay, or you're hearing me on some sort of, audio thing, I don't know where this will end up. But I'm saying it live, and it's being recorded, and it's on the internet. So somebody at some point might hear me talking, and they'll know that I'm talking to them. And there's the door. I don't understand you. And until you sort that out, just don't come around. Because I want to be welcoming to everybody, and I want everybody to have a place here, and I want to share. But if you were watching this, you're old enough to fucking know better. The second part of this, and then we can move on, and I'm upset And I mean, yeah. The second part of this is that one of my favorite artists of all time, musically, sonically, some of the best lyrics I've ever heard were written by Kanye West. I love Kanye West music. I've loved Kanye West music for a very long time. Some of the best poets in the United States writing today are rappers. This is not news. I mean, it might be news to some people. That's totally cool, whatever. Nicki Minaj, Kanye West, Wale. I mean, there are writers among us. I mean, I'm not hanging out with rappers, unfortunately, but I don't think I could hang with them. I could try, but brilliant writing, okay? And I love that music. And in case you haven't heard, the reason I would bring up Kanye West, and it's all over the news, but I hate the news, okay? So maybe I would be like, what is she talking about? I thought we were talking about anti-Semitism. Kanye West gave an interview with Lex Friedman. Lex Friedman is somebody Eric loves to listen to. I really enjoy his podcast. It's a podcast, I forget what it's called. He talks to scientists and mathematicians and philosophers. It's great, he's a little annoying sometimes, but so am I. It's totally fine. And Kanye West was on his program. And I was sick because what he talked about. And it was interesting. Lex Friedman he kept trying to get Kanye to get off of the topic of how the Jews run the media and how they have ruined his life. I mean, astonishing, the hatred and the ignorance. But Kanye just kept coming back to it. And I've been around people with mental illness, got a little bit of that myself. There's just a buffet of different things, that can affect a person. Depression, manic depression, bipolar, major depressive episodes. It's a real cornucopia of stuff that can go wrong with you, just like, because your brain is part of your body, right? So just like there's a million different things that can go wrong with your throat or your toe or your guts, it's all connected, right? Kanye West is very sick. He's very sick, and anyone who listens to that interview and thinks that he's making sense, I don't know what to say. I looked up the definition of lunatic because I said to Eric, he's a lunatic. And I thought I should look to see, is that a pejorative term? Is it considered a pejorative term? To say that somebody who's lost their mind is a lunatic. And when I looked it up, it was fascinating. It's not, the etymological dictionary did not say pejorative. I should have looked in actually the main dictionary if it was considered pejorative, but the thing that I wanted to learn was, I knew Luna, right? Luna is, the root there is moon, the moon, Luna. And so lunatic is moon sickness. Moon sickness, that's kind of how it's broken down, moon sickness. And it's that, people are ill, depending on the position and the phase of the moon. And I actually thought it was sort of beautiful. And it's manic depression, basically, right? Bipolar depression, lunacy. And I think that Kanye West is like moonsick. And I feel bad for him. It must be really scary for him. But he got on a platform and millions of people heard him say things about Jewish people that were hateful and bigoted and ignorant. And what happened was that all of this anti-Semitic rage and hate swelled up on Twitter and in conversation and on Facebook. And I'm sad and I'm scared about it. And what is my point? That's my point. And we're gonna move on, and we're gonna move on, and I can do that, and we're gonna do that. But the thing is that in our culture right now, people get really upset about a lot of things. There's a meme, and it's so offensive, and there's and it's so mad, and we have marches, and I've decided, marching in the street, it's a young man's game. I don't know, like I've never been super comfortable with like rah, rah, rah in the street, but I've done it because you got to be counted, whatever. There's no march right now, as far as I know, being put together, and people that I thought we would hear from to decry this, I don't hear anything. And I just wanted to say it, like really clearly, that isn't okay. And it's never okay. And if you don't say something clearly and make it known how you feel about this particular issue, because it's like always there, and there's these little fires burning, but they get tamped down, but then there's a fire, right? And I just feel like there's a fire right now, and it's up to, well, I don't know who it's up to, but for me, I'm saying this tonight. You're not welcome here if you believe that shit, and you need to check your head, because you're better than that. You're better than that. And that's it. So, someday we'll talk about separating the artist from the art. Can I still listen to Kanye West music? I don't know. Usually I'm like, no. Like Louis C.K. I mean, what a gross guy, Like, ugh, perv, gross, ew, He's really funny, so I struggle with that one. It's a topic for another day, but thanks for listening, and that's it. We're gonna move on, okay? That's it. I'm just gonna cut, go. All right. You're gonna get a lot of profile tonight. I don't know if that's good or not. And I'm not even gonna go back through the chat, because then we'll linger on it, and I'm sure the conversation was excellent. But I did just look, and the first thing I saw was Kenny saying, "I'm partial to Snoop Dogg myself." Because I had to switch my computer, I don't have my soundboard. I know, isn't it terrible? It's terrible. All right, but I'm sure everybody said some awesome things. I probably didn't. Well, no, I didn't need to say it. Okay, anyway, said we were moving on, so we're gonna move on. Are we on the main screen? Okay, thanks. It's okay. It is. It's okay. I love your name. I love to say it. I really do. Why? Okay. Get that doc off that screen. Get that doc off that screen. Here's a funny story to break the spell. So, and then I'll pull up this quilt. What is this quilt? Oh, this is great. We start with an intro quilt. That's what we start with. And this is the intro quilt tonight. Man, this setup's gonna freak me out. Pardon me. So my brother-in-law Jack was walking his late dog. He and my sister, Scout, who passed away. Anyway, he was walking Scout. It was really cold in Chicago, and this woman passed. He was squeezing Scout, right? She had to go to the bathroom, right? Squeeze the hound. That's what we used to say. Go and squeeze the hound. And it was really cold, and this woman passed by him, and she was walking very fast. And she was like, "You should put a jacket on that dog." And he was like, "What?" And she was like, "Put a jacket on that dog. You put a jacket on that dog." And she like said it over her shoulder again. Why did I start saying that? Put a jacket on that dog. I have no idea. Anyway, I mean, okay, Stephanie's laughing. Good. Put a jacket on that dog. You better put a jacket on that dog. I mean, dogs, do they need jackets? I don't know. The woman for sure thought they did. All right. So anyway, so I was like, I want some. Hey, Chris Mess, are you kidding me? This quilt reminds me of a Mitch Hedberg joke. Speaking of great comedians, interesting. This is interesting. I have a different mouse. Interesting. So, yeah. Wow, that's gonna be interesting, you guys. I can't zoom in the way I usually would, like scrolling all around because I don't have a touchpad. Hey, this is fine. It's totally cool. Why won't my laptop work since I updated my Mac? It's not good. That's not good, Mac. You did me dirty. Okay, let's just take a look at this quilt. I won't be able to zoom in too much, but let's take a look close here, and then I'll zoom back out. And it's made of jeans, but I don't know much else about it, so let's take a look. It's called the No Hate Flag, created by Louise Silk in response to the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting. An article in 2020 in the Pittsburgh Jewish Chronicle wrote about this quilt. Justin Vellucci, July 5th, 2020. Justin writes, Louise Silk's quilting work sits at the intersection of artistic expression and spiritual identity. When the native Pittsburgher first entered the realm of fiber arts in the 1970s, most Jewish artists who did venture into quilt or cloth making were relegated to making simple Torah mantles. Okay, she was thinking bigger from the get-go. Quote, I was looking for more of an art form, said Silk, who lives in the South Side. I'm always looking for a form of my Judaism, an expression of my Judaism, and through my quilting, I am Jewish. Ooh, that's great. Quilt Church sound cue. Unquote. Quilting, Silk said, is not a particularly Jewish art form. Most Jews emigrating from the U.S. to Europe in the 20th century clung to more traditionally Jewish mediums of craft work, such as needlepoint and crocheting. I think it's pronounced crocheting. No, I'm just kidding. She says, Jews didn't quilt, and quilters weren't Jewish. I thought they really didn't relate, she said. Driving up Forbes Avenue one day, I just got this epiphany, like, what if I quilted Jewish? Maybe it would be something new and different. What if I quilted Jewish? I love that. That's great. And I have looked, for a lot. I found a few quilts that are would be appropriate for tonight. Let's put it that way. But I'm always looking. And hey, you know what? You know what I need? I need a sound cue. I got to write this down on my Quilt Nerd content plan. I need a sound cue for when there's an idea on this show for a great research paper. It needs to be like, I don't know, like, ba-bang. I mean, I don't know. It needs to be something good. It doesn't need to be that, but something really great. Because we have ideas for great research papers, or great books on this show. And anytime a really good one comes up, we should have a sound effect for that. And I think a paper for the American Quilt Study Group on Jewish quilts, I think that would be very good. I think it's needed. Anyway, you could put this in it. Ooh! Wait a minute. Hold. Stephanie Cake, what are you showing me?
This is a book I got recently, and I can do enabling for it.
Yeah.
But it's called Painted Pomegranates and Needlepoint Rabbis. And it's how Jews craft resilience and create community. I live right outside of Baltimore, very close to probably the largest Orthodox Jewish community outside of Brooklyn.
Wow.
Outside of New York City. So yeah, we have, like, culturally, there's a lot of Judaism going around, where I live. And I learned about a guy recently who is from Baltimore, who knits. He may have heard of him, Sam Barsky. He's pretty viral.
Yeah.
He's all over the place. Anyway, he is in this book, so that's why I bought the book.
Cool.
And it's really fascinating, and it talks a lot about quilting and other types of textile stuff.
That is really great. Will you make enabling for it? And what's it called?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pomegranates?
Painted Pomegranates and Needlepoint Rabbis. And just a warning, it's a great book, but there's not very many pictures. So it's all narrative.
Man.
Which is frustrating when you've got something like, you want to see the stuff people make, but
Totally. Well, yes. All the more reason, right, to like get into that quilting chapter of the book Cake just mentioned. Get some leads, do some stuff. There's people in the office. How rude. And yeah, that's. I would. Yeah, great. It's coming. It's coming. I'll get the ebook. We'll get the ebooks link, and I will use the ebooks link myself to order the book because it sounds like it needs to be on my shelf. I would really like to know more about Jewish quilting tradition. So anyway, Silk's work was both new and different and placed her near the forefront of the craft and fiber arts movement in Greater Pittsburgh. Pierce said. The Upper Lawrenceville group Contemporary Craft is currently displaying Silk's work in an exhibit called Renew. This was in 2020, so it's over, a publicly accessible space in downtown Pittsburgh. Her newest works incorporate recycled clothing, like so, and textiles with practices that address urgent contemporary themes such as global warming. Silk, quote, uses t-shirt remnants, old quilts, pieced denim seams, and other recycled materials with hand embroidery, machine piecing, and reverse applique techniques to create her mantles and quilts, according to Contemporary Crafts' written description of the exhibition. So that's what's going on here. And I just think it's really beautiful. I love this. Oh, and she says just a little bit here about this piece. Soon, the marketing manager for Contemporary Crafts says, quote, the no hate flag is without a doubt my favorite piece. And this is what we're looking at here. Modeled on the American flag, the piece is stitched together in kaleidoscopic colors from reused denim and features one Star of David for each of the 11 individuals killed during the Squirrel Hill synagogue shooting in 2018. She says, when the Tree of Life massacre happened, I felt like I wanted to do something in my style, so I made that flag in colored denim, she said. I started thinking about all the factions, where all the prejudice is, not just Jews or gay people. I made it for everybody. Tree of Life was far from the first time Silk's work intersected with the roles or physical spaces of Jewish organizations. She's exhibited at the Jewish Community Center of Greater Pittsburgh, and so forth. Great. So that's her. And once again, it's Louise Silk. Louise Silk. And if you Google her, I mean, I didn't actually Google her. I found this quilt and I knew it was going to be the intro quilt for the night. And that's as far as I got because I had a tech problem. Or 5. Okay. So, neat, right? Hey, Crafts for Others, subscribe to Tier 2. You've subscribed for 13 months. That's what I want to do. I want to go back and at least give thanks. Give thanks to the folks who have re-upped their membership or subscribed for the first time. And by the way, if you haven't followed the channel, make sure you click that follow button. Because we had hold on, Theodore, thank you so much for subscribing for 13 months. 13 months. That's cray-cray. I'm so appreciative of that, of you and of your subscription. And our followers, we were like at I don't know, just over 1,000 followers, but there were a bunch of sock accounts. Like there was like a flood at TwitchCon of like fake Twitch accounts. And I think they were smacked. And so those went away. And I suppose it's good because they were fake anyway, but that sucked. So make sure you're following and tell people about the stream and tell people about the show and tell them that they should watch it. Because, we have a good time. Hey, Mary B, I think you're in YouTube land. I think Facebook didn't like what happened tonight, but if you're watching on Facebook, that's great. You're magic. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'm really glad you're watching. And Mary B, I think you might be a YouTube viewer. I'm really glad you're here. Mother Nature, thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. You've subscribed for 11 months. Man, there's all kinds of things happening. Jay Porter, L. Riggs. Oh my God, I haven't said hi to anybody, but let's keep it pushing. Kitty Hannah is gifting a Tier 1 subscription to Quilt Nerd Show's community. You're giving Michelle Van Scrappy. There's a hype train. Oh my God, where's my soundboard? Just imagine the applause sound. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for hanging in there. The Kitty Hannah, that's so cool. Thank you very much. And Michelle Van Scrappy, you have a Tier 1 gift sub. Now you're going to be entered into the giveaway for November. And it's really good. It's a prize pack. I'm going to talk about it tonight. And we're going to give away the puzzle at the break. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a poll. We're going to do a poll. It's easy. I've got it ready. While we're doing the poll, I'm going to tell you about what we're going to give away for November. I'm going to ask you what you want to see first. It's a very simple poll. Florida quilts or Mary's paint box? Lookbook. Better say that. Because I just can't decide. Okay. I'm starting the poll. It's going to be up for 5 minutes, but we might end it a little bit early. I don't know that we'll need 5 minutes. At the top of your chat, different devices are different, so you might have to look around. but it's there. It's there, and you should vote. Do we want to look at Florida quilts? There's not that many. I mean, there's like, I don't know, 7 or so. And then this paint box thing. Okay, so here's what's going to be in the November prize pack, and you can only be in the giveaway pot if you are a subscriber. So we do a book giveaway every month, and it's great. It's great. A book, or sometimes it's something else. Like this month, it's a puzzle. I mean, it's the October giveaway. We were doing it tonight because I was traveling and so forth. Here's what's gonna be in the prize pack. I found this. I have a second copy. Whoa, hang on. I gotta make sure I have a second copy of Susan McCord's Quilts, A Farm Wife's Legacy. This is a museum catalog that's beautiful, by the way. Beautiful. It's a little loved. It's well loved. Gorgeous pictures of Susan McCord, the Indiana farm wife who made one of the more famous quilts, I would say. Well, this one. Oh yeah, this is why I picked it. Remember when we went to the Kay Facet exhibit? If you're new here, you might not have realized that I was in London last week and took you, Quilt Nerd people, to the Kay Facet exhibit at the Fashion and Textile Museum in London. I mean, not bad, right? Not bad. You remember this? You remember the quilt that was a copy of this? It was one of the last quilts in the show, and somebody did a crazy quilt. It was a crazy quilt style, and they mentioned Susan McCord, and this being this quilt being the inspiration for that quilt. You remember that? Whoa! Crafts for Others. Oh my God! Mark Wesley, hi! You just got a tier 1 membership, gifted. Crafts for Others. Thank you so much. That's so cool. Kathy and Carmen and Pastrami Tacos, Pastrami! And Judy Joe, thank you so much, Crafts for Others. That is amazing, and that is extremely generous and awesome. And so all of you people will be in the giveaway. In the giveaway thing for this. But that's not all. Steph, I think I told you I was going to do this. Did I tell you I was going to do this? Well, so Stephanie made fans. I told you about this, right? That it was going to be in the price. Okay. Stephanie Cake made wonderful things, and I'm not giving anything else away. The magnet and the stickers, yeah. Anyway, for TwitchCon, okay? And it's fan, it does get hot in here. I'm not going to give all of them away. There's 3 of them. So I have them. I'm keeping 1, and 2 of them will be given away starting in November. So you get this. It's fabulous. Look at this. Who is this woman? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you, Stephanie? Yeah.
I'm just a crafter. What can I say?
Yeah. Yes, you are. You're just a crafter, and I have to tell you about that thing I was going to send you. You know, the quilt top thing? It didn't go out. It was too big for the office postal worker, so she didn't take it. I was like, oh, that's nice. Okay. Anyway, and look, I have a pristine copy, beautiful, of Quilt Folks issue 11, Southern California. Latifah Saphir, brilliant quilt. I hung it myself at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art up on this sculpture. Anyway, it was a fun photo shoot. It's a really good issue. It's one of our best, I think. Well, at least while I was doing the editor thing. So anyway, there's really great issues since I have stopped doing the editor thing, believe me. But this was one of my favorite ones that I worked on. So I have an extra copy. I don't know. I found it. It's beautiful. It's Quilt Folk. You know it. You love it. Quilt Folk. Fan. Susan McCord. It's pretty good. So that's what we're going to draw for in November. Okay? So let's see what you want to look at, okay? And then we'll look at it. We'll take a break. Stephanie will announce the winner of the giveaway for October, and I'll show you what you're going to get, the puzzle. And that's what's happening. Oh, my God. Okay. What happened? View results.
Nobody seems to care about Florida's quilt.
Is anybody in Florida? Do we have regular normal viewers? Do we have normal viewers in Florida?
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah, Word and Bird Nerds in Florida.
Word and Bird, that's right.
Yeah, there's somebody else too, I think that. Yeah,
Word and Bird Nerd. Okay, well, I get, okay, paint box wins. That's exciting. You know what? I scanned these. Okay, so we'll do that and then we'll look at some. They're really neat. They're weird, these quilts, these from Florida. So, we like them. Okay, so let's take, what's normal? Hey, Teacher Stitch. Oh my God, I want to say hi to everybody. Drink Wine and So Lynn, Kitty and Lisa and Bridgewater, Robin. Okay, here's what this is. So, okay. Everything was in plastic. It was in this plastic, these plastic sheets. And you can see up at the top, like they were, they're all just hooked together with those like brass holder thingies. So I didn't take them all out. There's a fair amount of pages here. And so I didn't take them all out of the plastic, so you can see the plastic a little bit, but I think the scans look good. I mean, I scanned them at like 600 DPI, right? So they should be okay. But water, there's some water damage in some of the pages, but it's okay. Hang on. What? Nope. Come back. Nope. Okay. All right. Hang on. Are we doing that? Okay, great. Oh, I know how to do this. Great. So my idea for this was, I made scrap quilts. Okay. I make scrap quilts. When I make quilts, I make scrap quilts. And when I taught classes, and when we did a Sunday social 2 months ago, I think, I showed a bunch of my quilts. It's kind of like a show and tell, right? And I showed pictures of my quilts and talked a little bit about what I used to teach in classes here. And what I like to do with my quilts, what I like to do with my quilts when I'm making them is, like, if I'm making a quilt with green and white, like, let's just say I'm just using 2 colors, green and white. I'll use a one white, like a solid white. But then for the green, I don't want just one green. And I don't want just 3 greens. I want like 60 greens. I want a bunch of different kinds of greens. So it's like just sort of a green party, right? All of these different scraps of green, different fabrics working together to really give visual interest. If 6 greens are good, 60 greens are better. Okay? That's what I think. That's how I feel, and that's how I make quilts. And I could have maybe pulled up some of my quilts, and maybe I will. But I felt like all the quilts that I made, too, were also, I use small pieces. Like the kinds of quilts that I make are, block-based quilts. And so I would make a sawtooth star with, a white background, and a green star, and there'd be, 20 of the stars in the quilt. And every single block would have a different color of green in it, okay? So I'm cutting small pieces with the quilts that I make. And so I thought, what if the fabric companies and like the quilt shops, I don't know, what if you could buy a bag, a beautiful bag of green scraps? You wouldn't, because I'm cutting small pieces, because I was cutting small pieces, or because I was making patchwork with small pieces, I thought, what if you could, and this was the system, okay? This was how the paint box method works, starring Susie Quilter. Okay, great. I guess I could have just gone through this, because apparently I thought of how it would work, and I'll take you through it, I guess. Anyway, what if you could buy a bag of light green scraps? A bunch of different remnants, basically. But then the question, and that'd be great, because I don't need a fat quarter of everything, right? I don't need a fat quarter of every single light green that I want to make. I mean, I might not love it that much, but I could use a little piece of it, in these quilts that I make that are just full of all these different shades of one color. But what's tough is that, some people are really good technically. Like, Stephanie's good at everything, sewing. She's good at everything. I've seen it. But, like, some people are good at one thing. Technically they're really good. Like, they can sew a 1/4 inch seam so straight, you don't even know what hit you, right? But they're not so great at picking fabric, because their brain doesn't think that way. Other people, they're great at color, but technically they're not the best. That's me. I'm pretty good at color, but I I cry when I do the binding. I cry. I'll beg, borrow, and steal to have anybody attach my binding. I like to turn it, but I don't like to attach it because I always screw it up. Anyway, so people who aren't that great with color might not be able to differentiate, right, between like a light green sort of and a darker green. So the paint box method would help you out. And you're going to see that. So Susie Quilter, oh boy, how does it work? How does the paint box method work? Susie sees a quilt she really likes pattern-wise. Susie imagines that quilt in her favorite colors. Oh, she wants to make, oh look, she's under the chat. She wants to make it in green and yellow. And or I'm sorry, she wants to make it in oranges and yellows. Oh, nice. Susie browses paint boxes online or at her local quilt shop. Oh, what is this? Number 1, number 3, number 12. What does this mean? I think we're going to see in just a minute. Number 4, Susie calculates which fabric she needs and how much and orders her fabric from the local quilt shop. Susie gets her fabric, enjoys her gorgeous colors, and creates one-of-a-kind quilt with her own version of the quilt she admired. Okay. Great, Susie. Okay, wait. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm going to get to the really fun stuff. Okay. So here's what I kind of thought it could be. You know, like paint box number 11 would be light greens. Does this make sense? I need to look at the chat. Paint box, the different paint boxes, everyone is numbered. And I'm going to take you through all the paint boxes. So what I did is I clipped little pieces of fabric, you know, from my stash, from my collection, right? And put together this lookbook of like, what would paint box 11 be filled with? It's the light green paint box. So these kinds of fabrics are what you would get when you ordered this, and it would come in like some cool like cloth bag, you know, that said like paint box, you know, some cool tag, you know, something really nice like canvas or, you know, I don't know, muslin with some cool stamp on it or something like that. But you know that when you order paint box number 11, light green, you're going to get this kind of stuff, right? You're going to get these. Yeah, you see Denise Schmidt. Yes, totally. This would be medium green and dark green, right? I really loved putting these together. But this is how I would pick my fabrics, right? For my quilt is I would sort my fabrics into light, mediums, and darks and whatnot, and that's kind of a whole discussion. I mean, contrast is relative. Something isn't light or dark until you have something to compare it to, right? So that's why color can be hard for some people. But when you compare, you know, the light green to the medium green to the dark green, you start to see a pattern, right? And I don't know, like I thought it would be kind of fun, you know. I thought it'd be kind of fun. Pamna said, "Hey Pamna, I quilt in order to get the scraps." Yeah. Totally. I just like looking at this fabric. When I found this thing, I was like, oh, I just really like these little collages, you know? They're great scraps, right, Dee Marie? They're great scraps. I see Kaif in there. Light aqua. I totally misspelled aqua. Some people are good at spelling, and some people are good at other things. But, you know, one of the things that's interesting about aqua is, I'm going to zoom in even more, because I can see it really big on my monitor, but it's just great to see fabric scanned, isn't it? I just really like it. Lady K says, when I worked in shops, the most common task I performed was helping customers select fabrics because color was so challenging for them. I'm telling you. It was the same way in classes when I would teach the classes. Anyway, what I was going to say is and it wasn't a science, right? So maybe some of these you won't agree with some of the scraps that I picked, but the aggregate is right on, and this is how I made my quilts, right? So this is like darker aqua, okay? The thing is with aqua is in quilt making, aqua is its own shade, and I found that out, you know, over years of trying to make an aqua colored fabric go in the green pile or in the blue pile. And it doesn't. In fabric, aqua is its own shade. So it had its own paint box number 15, dark turquoise or whatever. Because you put a green fabric, and of course there's some green in here, but again, it's the mix. It's the big bag of scraps. With all of this stuff put in. Anyway, you put a light colored aqua fabric, an aqua solid, on your pile of blue, and it sticks out like a sore thumb. And you put it on a pile of green, and it's the same thing. So you have to have aqua in its own category. I wrote this marketing language. Listen, let's see. It's the shimmer. God, it's the shimmer of the lake when the sun hits the shallow parts. Fish glitter by, and then sea foam hits your toes. Light aqua is intrinsically calming, peaceful, and graceful. Swim on. Oh God, Fonz. Elegant evening gowns come to mind. Your best, biggest umbrella, Egyptian jewelry, and maps of the world come to mind. A deep turquoise brings mystery, sensuality, and intelligence to spare. Oh God, I hate myself. Anyway. Ooh, dark purple. Whoop. Sorry. But I don't know. I mean, what do you think? I thought it was fun. And when I found it, I knew that I wanted to show you all what's going on here. Can I make that full screen? Why don't you like that? Okay. Dark purple. Yeah, nice, right? There's a lot of cafe in here, actually. That's interesting.
So, Mary, did you say how big these pieces would be?
No, I did not. That is a very good question. For the collages, they were tiny, right? So, Stephanie Cake, what do you think about this? I'm not saying it was like a genius thing. I just thought it was interesting. What are your thoughts? While I have some wine. And you can hate, you can totally be like, nah, it's not going to work. I'm totally fine with that.
No, it's not at all a bad idea. Yeah. And I think a lot of people have said such.
Oh, good.
You came up with this in, what, 2013?
Yeah, Oh, 10 years ago. Jeez.
Well, I know some of those monthly boxes, where you get the box of whatever you subscribe to. I know there's one of the companies, and I am drawing a complete blank. Is it Cotton Cuts? They do a thing similar to this.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
I think there are others, but yeah.
I'm so glad. Yeah.
Yeah, they do fat eighths, I think, and fat quarters.
Okay. I'm glad because, and yeah, if anybody wants to do the paint, please do it. I mean, I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that, having worked in a fabric store and knowing lots of fabric store workers, I think that the challenge for a company with that is, well, actually, I take that back. Oh gosh, what company is this? Is it Riley Blake? They're on Instagram right now, or they were like a week or so ago. Is it Riley Blake? You guys would know. Where they say it's like the scrap and the mill-in cuts time of year, and you basically buy a mystery box from them, and they, it's all.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
But I think that I know companies like to, they like to stick to sizes.
Yes, it's true.
Toyota does all of the pre-cuts. By the way, nerds, I'm taking over the show right
now.
now.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great.
How many of you who are I never get the acronym. The AQSG members, have you gotten your journal for this year? Have you read it? Carly Picorni's article about, or her paper about pre-cuts was very interesting.
That's right. It's true. Yes.
Yeah.
I
think it's a great idea, and I think that I love to play with color and all that stuff. But I do know that it's especially for newer quilters, sometimes that is a real sticking point. And some people are just not good at it, like you said.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great idea, if you liked, Yeah.
If you liked really scrappy quilts and you wanted to do, well, I'll pull up a picture of a quilt that I made that, it's called Emeralds, and it shows exactly what I mean. So I'll pull that up. But yeah, and I think the difference between this and someone was saying, what about yardage? What if it was yardage? Joyous Fibers, you were saying that. I feel like this particular, what it would probably be. And okay, by the way, on your screen right now, I showed this pattern on the left was called Fly Away, and then I did it on graph paper and put the key below. Like this person who made this quilt over here. It's crazy. I don't have my normal thing. But see, this quilt uses all kinds of different fabrics, right? There's a zillion fabrics in here, and they're all different. And it's like, there's a bunch of greens in there. And with the paint box method, you know, you would break that quilt down, break any pattern down into, like, you know, the different paint boxes that you would need, you know, to to make that, right? And so here you've got, hold on, you know, paint box number 12, medium green, paint, you know, these are all the paint boxes you would need anyway. So, but I think the thing is with this paint box thing is that it would be smaller pieces, right? Like you'd get remnants from, but how are you going to do that? I mean, that's pretty tough. Like, does Moda have remnants, you know, and how small are they going to be? I mean, actually doing it would be kind of tough, right?
If it's a mix of a mix of fabric companies, that's the challenge. You have to be an independent individual. But, you know, if a company was doing it themselves, it's a matter of, like, I guess they have to look at the profit margin of mixing lines.
Yes.
And creating, like, well, here's all the, you know, the paint box group of stuff. And how does that stack up against selling, say, a, you know, fat quarter bundle of one particular designer's work, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You know, and here I even had a little, it solves everything, you guys. How will it work production wise? But like, and the other fun thing, the thing that would make it fun though, would be all of these different fabrics from all these different lines. You know what I mean? Like it would be Moda and Cave and all that stuff. That's what makes it fun. And like how that's going to work, I don't know. I have no idea. It's not that simple as my drawing. Moda, Rowan, you know, I like my little vats of fabric drawn there, but
I bet if all the quilt nerds came to some central location and brought our stashes, or rather had our stashes shipped, because, I mean, some of us, I'm sure,
right,
more than could fit in a normal, like, shipping container, all came together, we could do this with our own stashes.
Listen, and as I was talking, and as you were talking about this too, I mean, paint box number 7, darker orange, wouldn't that be great to have a big sack of fabric with all this dark orange in it? Oh my god, it'd be so awesome. Anyway, that's maybe what the paint box is like a way to organize your scraps. Maybe it's just a system for organizing. Like maybe I should just post these little boxes on, like, I don't know, the Quilt Nerd website or something like that, you know? I mean, maybe it's just like a guideline. Because actually, how are we going to get all these fabrics together? There's like cotton and steel. There's like thimbleberries. I mean, there's a million different fabric companies in here. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's impossible to actually carry out, I think. But not if you're a quilt maker. Because if you're a quilt maker, you do have all these different fabrics. So maybe it's just a system of organization. Maybe that's it. You know what I'm saying? So what, because I mean, look, isn't that just, you know what it is? It's yummy. That's what I think it is. It's just, it's yummy. Oof. And Halloween yesterday. There's a few more of these paint boxes, and I just want, oh, here's bright orange. See, there's a difference. Bright orange, you know? And when you put them side by side, which I can't do right now, but when you put them side by side, there's a difference. And if you want to, you know, make a really scrappy quilt with, you know, with dark orange, it's different. Ooh, this is nice. Gold. How about that? Gold. That's kind of a tricky one. Hey, Jill, you know what? Hey, Susan or Michael. I know. I recognize them too. And listen, this is all 2013, right? I did this in 2013, so some of this is like old school stuff. There's some Amy Butler in there. Oh yeah. Jill, if anybody wants to talk to me about this, I mean, I'm showing it to you because it's like, I found this thing and it's so fun and it's just nice to see fabric. Again, scanned in fabric is like extremely fun to look at, I think. Look at that resolution. This office has problems, but the scanner. I love you, little scanner. I will never forsake you. I'm in fabric. Help, I'm in fabric. If anybody wants to talk to me about, like, you know, doing something with this, I mean, I'm a pretty big believer in, like, if I'm not going to do it, like, go ahead and do it. Or I mean, you know, involve me somehow if you would like. If it's really going to be a big success, let me know. But I mean, whatever. I can tell you the concept and stuff like that. Because there's something to it. I do think so. Look at all these light blues. Let's see. Is there... Let me see. Hold on. If you... Oh, yeah. I probably should have done that before. Oh, yeah. That's really helpful. Oh, yeah. Okay. Check this out. So this is light blue. Okay. I say baby boys, baby girls too. Light blue is gentle. It's sweet. It's boundless as the sky and homey as your favorite dress. Light blue is what your best friend should be. Kind, welcoming, and so pretty. That's hilarious. Okay, so light blue, dark blue. I mean, sorry, medium blue. Oh, look at all those fabrics. They're so sweet. And dark blue. Dark blue. Okay, you know what? Come back. Yeah, oh yeah. What is it? Paint box number 18. Dark blue. Let's hide this. Yeah. I gotta pay attention to the chat. Bonnie, you subscribed to Tier 1. You've subscribed for 9 months. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you, Bonnie. Bonnie, you're an OG. You've been supporting the show for 9 months, and I really appreciate it. I don't know if people want to be called, you're an OG. You're an original. You're an original. Hey, the other Mary Kate. Oh my God. And Molly, have I even said hi to you yet? Oh my God. I miss you. Can we make another poster, like, just for fun? Molly says, my fabric has no organization. I tried, but poor executive functioning has led me to make piles. It's much more random and chaotic that way, like me. Girl, I've seen you at work. You're not random and chaotic. I mean, I've seen you at work, like at work in the world, you know what I mean? But I get it. Hey, Rock Dog, you have yardage of the red vine on orange. Listen, a bunch of you probably have these fabrics. Hey, Sherlock. Baby boys, baby girls too, right? That's right. Blue can be baby boys or baby girls. Who cares? Who cares? Let's take a look at, ooh, light purple. It's really a mood, isn't it? These paint boxes. So I am behind on the chat, but Jill did say I actually know a secondhand fabric seller in Mass that might find this an interesting project. Okay. So that's the thing. I forgot about that part. Because if you are a company that has remnants, or you are a shop, see, that's what's interesting. And Kay would probably, Bonnie, I love you. I love you too. My soundboard loves you. And when it's back up, it'll prove it. What do you do with all these scraps? And actually, so I think that's the question. Who has these scraps, right? Who has light purple, dark blue, medium orange? Like, who has them? We have them as quilt makers, and we're like, what do we do with all these scraps? You know, but we're all in our little places, so you can't get them together. But one of the sources for the merchandise is us. And then there's these quilt shops. I mean, Kay, you know about... Yes, okay, Kay says the size of the cuts is important. The smaller you go, the smaller your target market gets, dependent on quilt patterns. That is so true, because some people, they don't want to make tiny patchwork, right? So it is a very specific niche audience. Basically, I want to buy this, so I want it to exist, but other people might not want to buy it. Let's see what else I got here. Medium purple. It's so much fun. Yeah, that's Brandon Mabley, and I guess, I mean, there is more cave in here than I thought I even had. Ooh, what's that? Do you all know, what is this one? Is that, oh, it's Anna Maria Horner, isn't it? Anna Maria Horner, right there. This one, this purple and pink. I think that's Anna Maria Horner. And here's what's interesting. I mean, here I have this like bluish one, you know, over here that's like right behind me right now. But you have to understand, like, when I put that with blue, it didn't fit. But when I put it with this grouping, it did fit. You know? It's not blue. It's not blue. And it's not aqua. And it's, I don't know. I guess I thought it was medium purple. Let's all... Molly, let's all start a quilt shop together. Yeah. That's really funny. Oh, Bonnie says, that's what I do when I have a migraine. I sort and cut my scraps. M. Hicks, I have that cave on the bottom left. Some good fabrics in here. Okay, let's see. Just a couple more, and then we'll take a quick break, and Steph will draw for the winner of the puzzle. Okay, let me just see. Oh, I think that's it. Hold on. View, sidebar. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh, it's upside down. Just a second. Just a second. Excuse me. Excuse me. Interesting. So what was I saying here? Paint box. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what these notes are, but they look very Christmas. What's going on? Did you get hacked? Did you fall asleep on your keyboard? Christmas, are you drunk? What's happening? Did you fall on your keyboard? I feel like that's either a secret message to me, or you completely, or you have a cat and your cat crawled up on your keyboard. Whatever it is, I have questions. Penny Catherine. Okay, a message from Molly. And Molly, by the way, says, we're the LuLaRoe of quilts. That's hilarious. My friend Joe, Oki. Okay, so these, yeah, okay, I scanned the whole thing. And that's it. That's all I got. The paint box method.
It was a cat, just as I thought.
There was something. I'm just glad your cat's into the show, Chris, and I'm glad you're here. I missed you. Okay. All right. There you go. Oh yeah. Okay, here, look. This was the water damage, you can see, but these were the different ones. Red and dark red, light pink, dark pink, light orange, dark orange. Yeah. Hours of fun. Oh yeah. Ooh, and then the neutrals. I never got to those. I love neutrals. Hang on. Wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't it be good to have light brown, medium brown, dark brown, a big bag of those scraps, and then light gray, medium gray, dark gray, bright white, soft white, natural white. I don't know. Maybe it's getting too granular. I'm not sure. Blended blacks and blacks. Anyway. Okay, so thanks everybody. That was super fun. I was excited to find this thing, and it was fun to show you. So really fun to show you. Thank you for checking it out. Classic cat behavior. Okay, brown. Listen, Kenny said, I find brown hard to work with. You ready for this? Get ready for this. You know what's great with brown? Let me show you. I will show you. Where's my red? Red is great with brown. Red is great with brown, and strangely, crazily, aqua. I've seen brown and aqua make a beautiful friendship. And brown and red. Brown and red because it's that warmth. The brown and the red have the similar warmth, so brown is good with red. But then aqua, I don't know. Play with it. Because I made a quilt with brown, a bunch of brown, because I realized I had so much of it. I had so much brown. I was like, why do I have all this brown fabric? But it was because I like small prints, and a lot of brown fabrics are small print fabrics. They're like calicos and stuff. Little blenders and things like that. So, yeah. Brown and aqua is in so many movies over and over again. Miscellany in movies? Fascinating. I love it. Turquoise, teal. Yep. Pink. Ooh, Mother Nature. Pink and brown. Pink and brown. Definitely pink and brown. Kenny, turquoise / aqua / and brown. Pink and brown. Pink and brown reminds me of like a Little House on the Prairie kind of mood, Okay. I'm going to take a break. We're going to go to the cake. Cake, are you ready for the cake break? Yeah, you ready?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. are. Wait a minute. Okay, there's the chat. So this is the cake break. That is Stephanie Cake. I am going to run to the ladies' room, and we're going to draw for this. Let me show you. This was a viewer who donated this to the cause of the giveaway, the monthly giveaway. Look at this. It's a puzzle of the famous reconciliation quilt. Pomegranate puzzle. And you said the pomegranate book.
Pomegranates.
That's one of those weird things that happens on this show. We have weird things that happen. This is a perfect example. Pomegranate puzzle. Stephanie mentioned a book tonight that had pomegranate in the title. I'm just saying, do we say pomegranate on this show very often? We don't. But tonight, twice. Anyway, this is one of the most famous.
Because pomegranate is my safe word.
Oh my God. What? I'm not sure there's been a show in recent memory that needed the soundboard more than tonight. That is well, here, Chicago's providing the siren. My safe word indeed. All right. So here you go. The reconciliation quilt pomegranate puzzle. You're ridiculous. I love it. I love every second. So Stephanie's going to draw for that. And I'm going to, see, they're coming for you. They're for you in that comment. Then we're going to look at a few crazy, awesome quilts from Florida that are wild and bizarre and wonderful. Okay, that's it. Cake, take it away. I'm outie.
Okay.
And I'll figure out I'll learn who it is when I get back. Okay.
Okay. I was just kidding, you guys. I'm just trying to be funny today, lighten the mood. All right. So, pomegranate juice. Kenny, that's a little tart. I know I think my mom's on here tonight. She used to get pomegranate juice and make like a really good vinaigrette with it. Add it to like a little bit of olive oil, and if I remember correctly, there was something like maybe chopped scallions in it or something. Delicious. Anyway, you guys want to know who's going to win this puzzle, and that's a cool puzzle, by the way. The reconciliation quilt is a very cool quilt. We got to see it. I'm trying to remember. I'm sure it was before Birmingham. I think when Mary was at the International Quilt Museum. That's when we saw it. All right. So I'm not going to give you guys a sound effect tonight. I'm just going to pick. All right. So, Quilted Soul. I think you're in the lurker lounge tonight. I don't think I have seen you chatting, but you are here. So hopefully you're not listening without sound or not watching without sound, and you have won that awesome puzzle. So, Quilted Soul, if we don't already have your contact information, you can either whisper to me or Robin here on Twitch, or you can email us at quiltnerdshow@gmail.com. And so congratulations, Quilted Soul. Yes, I think pomegranate juice is the base of grenadine. I believe that's true, right? Yay! Yay, Quilted Soul. Yeah, Kenny says it is. Yeah, isn't it grenadine like what you float on top to make like a tequila sunrise or something? So, while we wait for Mary to come back, I made a video. It was a long time coming because I got sick. But I made a very silly video for my trip to TwitchCon. You guys heard a lot from Mary. I had a silly adventure at my hotel, so I showed that in a video. So I will I'll link that for you guys in the Discord.
I'm not back yet.
Oh, Shirley Temples or cherry juice. Okay, yes, Kenny is giving us the recipe. Yep. I was right. I can't say I've ever had a tequila sunrise, but they look pretty. Oh, they're tasty. Yeah. I. Oh, Kenny was a bartender. Okay. By the way, Kenny, are you well? It took me a while to get over that illness, and I'm 99% sure Mary gave it to us now.
Okay, I'm back. Did you draw?
I did.
Who won?
Quilted Soul.
What? Who is it?
Soul won.
Quilted Soul.
Yeah.
That's so great. Congratulations. Awesome. Is Quilted Soul in the chat?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Oh my God, Quilted Soul, you won. You won the puzzle. Quack, quack. Applause. That's wonderful. I'm so glad. It's so fun to win. Isn't it fun? You won. Druid Grandmother, hello. I love your name. Oh, no, sorry. Druid Godmother. If it was Grandmother, I would also like it. That's awesome. Stephanie.
Dee, the illness, the not COVID, is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. Mary, the not COVID.
Not COVID?
Yes, not COVID is what we've all had. Yeah, it lasted longer than one would want it to. And I think it was like 5 or 6 days. It was, it was a good week. Mm-hmm. It was a bad week, but it was.
Yeah. Yes, it was a solid week. Yeah.
I'm sorry you have that, Dee. I hope you feel better soon.
Dee Dee's got it. Oh no. I hate Druid. Thank you. Yeah, so Dee, listen, there was a whole bunch of stuff. I sent the link to Stephanie the other day about how a lot of people have not COVID. And that was what I was telling you all, and Stephanie too. You know, we took COVID tests and it was not COVID. But damn, you saw how sick I had to cancel the show 2 weeks ago. You know, I was too sick. I didn't have a voice, all that business. You all hung out, you know, with me when I was like, I mean, Molly was like, that was like the best. She was like, it's the best show you've ever done. I was like, with the animation, and I was like,
it was a fever dream, and it was fantastic.
It was a fever dream. It was really fun. What day was that? It was not last week, but the week before, right? On Saturday night. That was a crack up of a show. It's really fun. You should watch the replay. I really need to get some stuff uploaded to YouTube, but you can watch it here on Twitch. It's the animation show, and it was really something to see. I was also in cold beds. Molly. Anyway. That was great. We will brook no opposition on this point. Anyway. Quilted Soul, I'm so glad you won. That is so great. Make sure, I'm sure Kate told you this, but make sure we have your address. And I'll send it out to you with a little note. We'll get a little note. Okay, let's take a look at some, let's just look at some quilts. Let's have a little quilt parade. Look at small on the other side. Okay, cool. Check this out. Look at this. Look at this book. Look at this book. It's really... Kenny was a bartender in his 20s. I'm not surprised. Kenny has really good stories. Stephanie and I heard some of them at QuiltCon. One of these days... By the way, if you're new here or if you forgot, anytime you're in Chicago, if you come through, let me know ahead of time. Like at least 2 weeks ahead of time. Well, let me know ahead of time and come on the show. I would love to have you on the show. It'd be amazing. It'd be wonderful. So a couple of quilts here from this Florida book. We're recovering. Okay, good. Oh, man. This Florida book, Charlotte Allen Williams. Here's what it says. This stunning book of more than 200 photographs, 137 in full color. And by the way, the quality of the quilt photos, I would say medium high to high. Good. They're really good. It celebrates the enduring works of love and beauty assembled by the Florida Quilt Heritage Project, a 5-year program to discover, document, and preserve the history of Florida as expressed through Florida quilts and the lives of the quilters. From traditional patterns like log cabin and double wedding ring to originals such as money bags. Oh, money bags. We looked at quilts with money and stuff weeks ago. Who was it? Somebody asked for it. And there's a really great quilt in here with that theme. It's great. And the Miracle Quilt of Democracy. Wait, what? I didn't find that one. Okay. Anyway, there's a bunch of really great quilts they're saying. And the author, Charlotte Ann Williams, retired from the faculty of Florida State University. She's a freelance writer and consultant in communications. She was the communications coordinator for the Florida Quilt Heritage Project. So she's, a person of consequence. And this was published in 92. Okay. So here, just a few selections that I thought were really great. Look at this. Look at this quilt. Oh yeah, Lady K, remember to reach out when you have to come to DC. I really, Lady K, I really need to go and do that research I want to do. What do I get? I gotta write a book. You guys, I gotta write a book. I realized, I have to do it. I really have to do it. When am I gonna do it? Molly, you can take a sabbatical. Can you schedule a sabbatical for me? Thanks. And you should take a sabbatical, by the way, because that's amazing. Okay. Bonnie Kane resubscribed at Tier 1 for 6 months. 9 months total. Thank you so much, Bonnie. You're the best. I might have already said it. Okay, there's a lot of good stuff. Look, the Florida Quilt Heritage Project. It's a thick book. Look at those tabs. Look at those tabs. I love a tab. Very nice paper. Anyway, I said it at the top of the show, but I mean, it's a good one. It's a really good one. It's an interesting format. It's chronological. They do the quilts chronologically. So, the Civil War, the 20s, the 30s, and so forth. So this is called George Washington's Plume. Look at that star in the middle and these sunflowers. I mean, I've just never seen a quilt like this, It was made in 1928 by Hetty Campbell, 74 by 86. Cotton batting, yep, yep. Yellow backing. But it's interesting. These sunflowers, right? Or are they black-eyed Susans or poppies or something? Not poppies, sorry. I know, Lady K. It'd be so good to write a book. I gotta do it. What's the quilting pattern? Mademoiselle Larry, it's great to see you. It's a crosshatch. It's just they actually say it in this caption. Quilted by hand in a crosshatch pattern. So it's just diagonal, it's a grid. But I think it looks like it's been washed a lot. That's what I think, which is interesting because, it kind of looks like a fancy quilt, but it's been used. I think it looks washed. Doesn't it look washed? It's really cool. I like it. Red and white. Yes, exact. Penny Catherine. Hello, Penny. It's absolutely like that. Let's call it what it is. The vagina quilt. The vagina. Stephanie's like, oh, yeah. You know the one I'm talking about. If you don't, you're very confused right now, and that's fair. But yeah, I have a quilt that uses these plumes, these pink shapes, to great effect. It's neat. It's a neat one. It's a neat quilt. I think it's really cool. Okay. Oh, look at this. I added it to the file. Another cross-stitch quilt. They just show up all the time now. I think that's, if I was going to write a book that could actually be finished, it would just be a cross-stitch quilt book. Because I'm finding them all the time. But you should write it. Stephanie, you should write something on cross-stitch quilts because you were the one.
I found another one last night. Yeah, I found another one last night. It's actually made out of yo-yos, though. But it is still...
Wow.
It's still a cross-stitch quilt, from my perspective. But, yeah.
Well, you need the file of all these things. So I'll zip the file to you with all of them. There's a lot of them now, as you well know. But, yeah, so interesting. Look at this guy, Peacock. Okay, hang on. What do we know about this? So these are all quilts from the Florida book. Peacock, pieced in 1958 by Georgia Myers Kenworthy of Miami. 88 by 100. Wow, it's big. Let's see. So after many years of working on her quilt, Georgia completed the top in 58. And her mother, a friend of her mother, wow, this is some detail. A friend of her mother in Colfax, Iowa, did the quilting. Georgia moved to Florida in 1960, and to her delight, there are beautiful peacocks roaming freely around the Dade County neighborhood where she now lives. So she's surrounded by the beauty that inspired her design so many years ago. That's very sweet. It's pretty. Look how complicated that is, though. I mean, oh, sorry. Where's my mouse? Here. That design work is pretty intense. Wait a minute. Do they say how many pieces are in there? Because that's all mosaic, right? Like the yellow. The yellow is it's all mosaic. When you have a quilt like this, it's all little squares, right? You can't do it otherwise. Wow. Let me zoom out. That's it's amazing. That's pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. You had peacocks, Jay Porter, living next to your home once. They are loud. I have heard this. About a peacock. Maybe that's what we need the sound to be when a good research paper comes up. I'm going to do it. Ah! Like whatever it is, like, or a giraffe, like ah! Some sort of screaming. In England, I don't know about everywhere in England, but in London, there are foxes everywhere. Did you know that? Foxes. It's so beautiful. It's so like England magic, right? So many foxes. And when foxes have sex, it's horrible. It's so scary. They're screaming. I thought someone was getting murdered.
We have foxes too. And
oh yeah,
they are terrifying. When you hear them, you're like, "What is happening? Do I need to call the police?"
Oh yeah. I mean, I was not prepared. Okay, look at this quilt. This is crazy. So Sarah L.V. Whaley Durance in Tallahassee, Florida, in 1969, cotton coin bags. So they're bank bags. They're bank bags. The State Bank of Jacksonville, Florida. Parkway National Bank, Tallahassee, Florida. Capital City National Bank, Tallahassee, Florida. Federal Reserve Bank, Jacksonville, Florida. Isn't this great? They're coin bags. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. We have seen feed sack quilts, we've seen sugar sack, flour sack. Oh, that's funny. Please do not cut bag when opening. Whoops. Let's see what they have to say about this. Sarah L.V. Whaley. Hold on. She learned to quilt. This woman was born in Medart, Wakula. Look at this capital. Amazing. This is amazing. Citizen State Bank, First National, incredible. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. I'm going back. William Gladwin of Tallahassee, Florida, owns a novelty quilt created by William's grandmother, Sarah L.V. Whaley Durance, in 1969. It's made of coin bags almost exclusively from Florida banks. William saved the coin bags when he was working as a teller at the Capital City First National Bank in Tallahassee, and his grandmother, with some assistance from William, made the quilt as a bed cover for him. He used it on his bed. And the woman who made it, she was one of 8 in a pioneer farm family. She learned to quilt at about age 12 from her mother and quilted daily when she was in her 20s and 30s. She went to school in Medart and Lloyd, Florida, and in 1912 married Early Harris. Oh, Early. I do. Will you marry me, Sarah? Will you marry me? Wait, hold on. Sarah L.V. Wait, Sarah L.V. married a guy named Early. Sarah L.V. married Early. Oh, weird. They raised 4 children. Okay, Anyway, cool, right? Money bags. Incredible. Okay, a couple more quilts. This, you guys. This is, wow. I've never seen a quilt that looked like that. Hey, Sewing Karen. Yeah, we're looking at these. We're looking at Florida quilts, just a few of them. I think, what do I have? I've got, I don't know. Oh, I can tell right here. 2 more after this. Is that right? Okay, 3 more after this. This is called, I need a chip. This is called Florida Forest. Designed and made by Mabel Schofield Wolford in 1979, the year of my birth, in Lake City, Florida. This is a great quilt. Look at this thing. Look at that piecing. Are you seeing this? Are you appreciating this? Look at this. Better to marry early than late. That's funny, Penny. That's very good. That's very good. I feel like you would have been like, that was like an awesome joke at like a family picnic, you know? Like, yeah, it's good. It was really good. So this is like pineapple piecing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, actually, that's kind of a bad close-up because it looks like pine trees, which is kind of distracting. But you can see, Stephanie's nodding. So it's like, am I describing it right? It's pineapple. It's logs, right? You know what I mean?
I'm trying to wrap my head around this. I can see the seams kind of like they cross directly through the blue circle thing, right?
I think the blue circles are applique on.
Right, but can you see the seams beneath it, right?
Yes,
like,
yes,
so
yes.
The boundaries of the block.
Yes. It's very complicated. Like,
yeah.
You've got 2. Well, let's zoom out again really quick just to see the whole thing. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Okay, Lady K, you're thinking it's pineapple, right? With blue application. Yes, Sherlock. So, okay, so that's what we're looking at. Now let's get in here. That's kind of the close-up that I think helps to see the piecing a little bit. Maybe one more. Yeah. Because if you think about a pineapple quilt, to me, I can see that shape. I can see that construction on those. I should say not on the. Look at the blue circles are appliqued on, and that's sort of the row that we're looking at trying to figure out the piecing. And it seems to be the green and white are pineapple style log cabin pieces. There's just a lot of very long, narrow pieces here that stack. It's intense. Let me go right here. It's crazy not to have my. I feel like right there with the photograph, you can see a little bit better the piecing. There, that's better. Right? I don't know how many pieces are in this thing. It's a lot. It's really a lot. Hey, Naflinster. Thank you so much for subscribing at Tier 2. You've subscribed for 13 months. You're on a 13-month streak. That's over a year. I really appreciate you. You've been around, You've been around before we even had subscriptions. Hey, Small Town Roots. Hey, girl. Just catching up. I'm headed to the Geesman Quilt Retreat that starts tomorrow. That's amazing. Will you please take pictures? If you want to. I don't take pictures a lot of times because I just don't think about it. But if you think about it, we'd love to see it. We'd love to see it. And if you know what, Small Town Roots, if you have an Instagram or anything, any kind of social media stuff that you share it, put it in the chat. We'd love to. That's a wonderful thing. I hope you have a wonderful time. Fantastic. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. Enjoy. Wow. Okay, so we're looking at Florida quilts, just a few of them from this book. That's really good. And this is, wait, hold on. Let's see what else we've got. Maybe they're going to tell us something about it. I don't know. Mabel Schofield Wolford, Okay, I made this. Now let's see. Hold on, I'm scanning. Her block design includes a pine tree, palmetto fronds, sky, and a representation of Ocean Pond, a pond near her home. Mabel then entered the block in a national contest sponsored by Progressive Farmer magazine, and it was selected as one of the top 10 entries. The block is featured along with 49 other original designs in the book Prize Country Quilts. Interesting. By Elizabeth Johnson. In 1979, Mabel made the quilt pictured here, which repeats her original block as the design unit for the entire quilt. Okay, we hear about Mabel, and that's cool. Mabel's part of, I want to know about the block, but that's okay. Mabel is part of a family that's been in Columbia County for more than 100 years. She says, quote, "My life and that of my ancestors is inextricably entwined with the beautiful trees, palmettos, and lakes of the Osceola National Forest." Wow. Interesting. That's it. You know, it's interesting. I mean, it's funny. I just realized that a lot of these state documentation books, they don't talk about construction. I mean, we haven't really seen that, right? It's interesting because they're books about quilts, and a lot of quilters, you know, quilt nerds read them, and it's funny as we look at them together. I think, like, if there's another state documentation book that gets made, you should totally talk about, like, the construction, not patterns. That's not what I mean, but, like, if you can break down a little bit, you know, like, this quilt uses the pineapple paper piecing method or something like that, because we want to know, right? We're proving that right now. Hey, Small Town Roots, subscribe to Tier 1. You've subscribed for 10 months. Small Town Roots. Are you in the disco? I hope you're in the disco. Listen, anybody who's subscribing who hasn't sent us an email with your email address, and then your mailing address, please do it. Because Quilt Nerdshow@gmail.com. It's so important that you email us, quiltnerdshow@gmail.com, because you go into the drawings for the giveaways and you get invited to the disco. It's a private disco. It's a private Discord. A lot of Discords are public, but not ours. You have to be invited. And you also, you get stuff. Oh yeah, and the special things. You know, we have to know how to get in touch with you. So make sure you if you're a subscriber, we have your email address. Okay, we don't sell it. It's just not even a question. So we just have to get in touch with you. Okay, this one, I threw this in sort of at the last minute. I think this is really neat, just because it looks really old timey. Doesn't it look it looks like a new version of an old timey quilt from, like, Great Britain or something to me. Just I don't know. There's a lot going on. I like it. I don't even know what page it's on, so we're not going to linger because I'm not going to flip through to find it. I don't know. I threw it in at the last minute because I just thought it was cool. Yeah, I don't have it tabbed. Oh, but I got this one tabbed. No, wait, hold on. I just have to say, I love this quilt. I love it. I love the blues. I love that cadet blue. I love the calicos. This is a calico. Look at this calico. You know, that, like, orangey red. Oh, and the bandana. The bandana prints. This must be like 60s or 70s. But I like the way it's sort of a frame quilt. It's like the scrappiest frame quilt. And you know, the person who made it, they really had a good they had control. They had control over what they were making, because it's very scrappy, but it's not what I would call a kitchen sink quilt. It's very red and blue and white. But look, she's got purple in there. She's got novelty prints in there. I mean, look down there. You know, what's that about, right? But it totally works. Cadet blue, Dee Dee Brew Crew. You better get better. The center a bit centered. Yeah, it's not. I don't know if the photograph is a little bit, like, cocked, but I don't know. But I think it's really successful. And the way that the 9 patches, I mean, it's designed the way the blues, look at the blue patches, you know, they're going toward the center. There's a lot going on. It's deceptively complicated or deceptively simple. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Stephanie, do you get what I'm saying? That there's like something to this quilt, even if you don't like it. Like, do you feel what I'm saying about it?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I like the center. I think Susan said she likes the center. I really respond to the center.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it was off center too. Like the center was like down, you know, not in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But I just counted, and it is in the right place. But it's so strange how it doesn't look like it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something intriguing about this quilt. I don't know that I love it.
Yeah.
But there is something intriguing about it, and I do like the use of those novelty prints, like just in those 2 spots. Like they're not all over.
Yeah. Yeah, they're at the top too. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I feel like this might be one of those things where they maybe had fabrics for a couple of different ideas, and then they kind of went, you know what, I got to get all this stuff together because this quilt's got to be done.
Yes.
And so that's what they did.
Yeah. Yep, totally. And maybe, actually, you know that famous quilt, Crazy City, by C. Winnie with the backwards ends. You know, a lot of people have said that there was a different quilt in the center, that it was a crazy quilt that she didn't finish and she put it in the center. And I could totally see that as being part of this. You know, it was like she had these blocks made for some other quilt, and she was like, look, I'm putting it, I'm using it. I'm tired of looking at it, you know, and that's interesting. Have you tried that? Have you tried, you know, using other blocks in something else? Why not try it? Who knows what'll happen? Oh, here we go. Another one. This is pretty great. Now that is what I would call a rich color scheme, and I'm here for it. I'm impressed. It's very warm, isn't it? Warm. There's just this warmth that's coming from this thing, and it was made in 1981, which surprised me a little bit later than I thought, but 81. Interesting. 81. It's called Cosmic Cotillion. Cosmic Cotillion. Cotillion is a dance, right? A cotillion party? Okay.
Yeah,
Cosmic?
like a coming out party.
Yeah.
Cotillion.
Yeah. Cosmic Cotillion, made by Anna Lupkowitz from Gainesville, Florida. 92 by 92. Pieced by machine, hand quilted in circular floral design, polyester batting, cotton backing. Interesting. So let's take a look. Oh gosh, sorry. You can see the quilting, actually. You can see the circular quilting if you look up at the top at the yellow. You can see it, right? Beautiful. Interesting. Another cross-stitch quilt. Or mosaic quilt, if you will. But this is nice. I mean, talk about a command of color. I mean, wow. The blues, the value. She really had a good sense of value, or volume, some people call it. It looks like needlepoint, totally. Yeah, digital. Yeah, it looks totally digital, Dee Dee. But this sort of like muted, like whale blue, like a beluga whale kind of blue, and then that sage green, mustard. All of these really play well. Gosh, it shimmers. It like shimmers on my screen. Huh. I mean, that red, pink, and purple. She really knew what she was doing. Did they say anything about it? This is our penultimate quilt of the evening. Do we know anything? I really want to know more. Cosmic Cotillion is a vibrantly colored quilt owned and made by Anna Lupkowitz. She was born in New York. Okay. Okay. She received a Bachelor of Fine Arts in music. She had a degree in voice. Okay. Okay. All right. Anna developed an admiration for quilts early in her life. Let me but never found anyone to teach her how to make a quilt until 1970, when she attended a senior citizens quilting class and was, quote, smitten, unquote. Now she quilts almost every day. She teaches quilting at Santa Fe Community College and participates in a great many workshops and demonstrations in the Gainesville area. Anna has sent some of her quilt work to be exhibited in Novorossiysk, Russia, Gainesville's sister city. She received a Florida State Folk Arts Grant in 1983 to research Black women and their quilts, and had the honor of being named the Outstanding Senior Citizen of the Year in Gainesville in 1985. Oh, God. I want that. I want to be an outstanding senior citizen of a town. I do. Who wouldn't? I want to be an outstanding senior citizen. That is a goal of mine. It's a privilege to live to be a senior citizen. And I'm going to live to be a senior citizen, and I'm going to be an outstanding one. I'm going to shoot for outstanding. All right. I like this quilt very much. I think it's very cool. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this last one. This last one's interesting. This is one of those that's like, it's not my favorite. You know, I don't love it. Oh my God. Sherlock says, I love that for Anna. Molly, my grandma would have had this. No disrespect is Fred. Oh, yeah. Oh, totally. I feel like, Molly, your grandma would have been the outstanding senior citizen. Although, I'm not sure. But I feel like my vision for your grandma, she's the outstanding senior citizen of her town. Excuse me. Oh, Kenny, I just looked at your comment. Using the brown as a break between the black is brilliant. Perhaps brown and black. Perhaps that's a good combo for you. Yes, Jay Porter, this looks like the inside of a mosque dome. Okay, so this quilt I was interested in because I have to say, I don't love the stained glass quilt thing. But we looked at them so briefly, like early on in the birth of this show. I feel like it's time to look at them again, but I just have never, I don't find examples of them that I like well enough to like look at them. I don't know. But over the year and some months that we've been doing this, like I have found some more. So I feel like a segment on them would be okay. But this kind of qualifies. So this quilt, Rose Cathedral, made by Stephanie Metz in Gainesville in 1981, same year. 102 by 103. Made in stained glass technique of polished cotton fabric, hand appliqued, fine hand quilting in outline, echo, and other patterns. Polyester batting. Oh wait, hold on. So it's a dove, like it's a dove motif. There's got to be more about this. Hang on. She made it. This particular quilt depicts the window of the Cathedral Window Quilt Shop. Oh, well, that's cool, in Gainesville. What? Hold on. This particular quilt depicts the window of the Cathedral Window Quilt Shop in Gainesville. Stephanie, can you see if it's still there? Is the Cathedral Window Quilt Shop in Gainesville, Florida, still there? And the window of that quilt shop was patterned after windows in the Chartres Cathedral in France. Chartres? I mean, okay. Go, girl, go. It's amazing. Look at the quilting. The quilting is really impressive. Wow. Amazing. Very well done. Any luck in Gainesville? It's nice.
Yeah, I got a quilting makes the quilt. And for some reason, some place called Budget Blinds of Gainesville, because I don't know. I guess because it's a window treatment store, they heard window in that Google.
That's why. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like a bicentennial quilt in a way, sort of like the Doves of Peace and all that. I mean, hold on. Look up there. The quilting is really, really cool. Very nice. Yeah. Oh, angels. Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Very well done. Looks like satin. All right, everybody. That's the show. It has been a pleasure indeed to spend time with you. It's so good to be home too. Hang on, let me do some of this before I get big again because my lips are chapped. Quilted Soul. Oh. Do my best, like Halo, Virgin Mary kind of thing. Anyway, Quilted Soul, congratulations on your puzzle, right? That's so cool that you won the thing. And then also, let me see. Everybody who gave Crafts for Others, you gave out a bunch of gift subscriptions. I really appreciate it. Anybody who renewed their membership, thank you so much. It's amazing. It's really, really, really great to see. And if you haven't subscribed to the show yet, I hope you will. I just think that you should. Yeah, I think you should. I have a thank you note to send out this week to a viewer who sent a couple things actually, a few things from the Amazon wish list for this show. I think there's like 4 people now who've sent something from that wish list. Kik, if you could throw it up, in the chat. That sounds weird. If you could please post it in the chat. There's an Amazon wish list, and it's interesting. Like the things that I put on there, which are all to help the show, the things that I've gotten from the Amazon wish list, because maybe you want to support the show in a different way. Maybe you're a subscriber. Maybe you want to do something else. Maybe you want to do everything. I don't know. But like, I was right. Like, I was for sure right on the things that I put on that list, because the light that I got, I was able to travel with, and the lighting was great. The other tech didn't work very well last week in London, but the light worked perfectly. It was so much better than taking these 2 really, really heavy lights with me, which I've taken all over God's green earth. And anyway, it was way better. This, okay, I have to show you. These are Quilters newsletters that we'll talk about later. But Jill is at the New England Quilt Museum, and anyway, we've been talking about a bunch of back issues that they had, and so she sent them, and I sent the donation to the museum, and one of the viewers, and I won't say your name yet, just because I don't know, I didn't talk to you about it yet, but magazine holders, these magazine holders, these, cardboard, I needed them, right? And now I have them because of you, and it's so great because there's a bunch of them, and there's a whole lot of magazines, and I gotta keep them organized. I gotta keep them organized, and then the book holder. So those things, it's not silly. It's great. Those kinds of things, they all cost money, and to have a viewer sort of contribute in that way is amazing. So I really, really appreciate that stuff. It's so cool. Thank you everybody for just watching. That's the thing that you can do. That that's the most important thing, I suppose, is just tuning into the show and telling somebody about it. I love making it, and I want to make it for a really long time. Stephanie Cake, you the best, girl.
Aw, shucks, thanks.
It's a better show that you're here,
Yes, hugs and pomegranates, as Penny Catherine says.
Hugs and pomegranates, indeed. Yeah, pomegranates. When are they in season? Are they in season, like... Thanks,
Is there a pomegranate season?
I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, and actually, there's a quilt pattern. I mean, Love Apple, that block, sometimes gets called pomegranate. I'll find a pomegranate quilt for Saturday's show. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Good night, everybody. Take care. Thank you. I'm sorry I was late tonight, but we did a good 2-hour show once we got going, and I enjoyed being with you as always. Okay. We'll see you later. And, I don't know if the outro is going to work or not. I didn't really set that up on the new system. We'll find out. If the music doesn't play right away, I'll get some going. Okay, bye.